I'm Barb.
And I'm Alex.
And we're Enchanterium. In today's video, we'll be making Aaron, the candy boy, as a part of the Candyland Swap hosted by RetroDollsUS quite a while ago. As per swap video, let's start with a package we received from our partner, Saint Kawaii. There's a bunch of supplies for doll making, such as ribbons and fabrics, and some candy and crisps. There's also the star of the show, the strawberry ice cream themed doll. She has scoop-like hair buns, adorable waffle skirt, and a bunch of chocolatey drizzle in her design. She's so sweet we could eat her. She also has a cute ice cream purse and is overall gorgeous. Thank you Saint Kawaii for your package, and thanks goes to Shannon from RetroDollsUS for inviting us to partake in the swap. Now, let's get into how we made our doll for Space Eclair Dolls.
We struggled a lot to find the perfect base for a candy doll, but finally decided to make a male doll based on Hunter Huntsman from Ever After High. His face has a few scratches on the nose and the chin, but I'm going to fix that later. Let's get rid of his factory hair and separate the head from the body. A short boiling bath to soften the vinyl, and he's ready for taking the head off. I had a lot of trouble with removing the head from inside. I wanted to avoid cutting his head to pull out the glue because I wanted to reroot his hair, and I needed all the holes in good condition. There were some dolls like Yolanti that had a lot of glue inside, but this one was the worst I've ever experienced. I've tried every tool I have to reach and scrape the glue, but nothing has worked. My last hope was to hit the head a few times and work while it was warm. The vinyl and the glue went soft, and I finally managed to clear out all the hair. I'm using acetone to remove the side hair. Just let it soak for a minute and wipe it off with a cotton pad. The same goes for the factory paint on the scalp and the face. Now he's ready for customization.
For his very pink outfit, I decided to give him shorts, so I shortened a basic trouser pattern and sewn it together, starting at the sides. I hemmed the bottom of the legs, joined the front and back, and joined the inner leg seams. I glued the top edge over so it was easier to hem it by machine. I added some snaps in the back. Next was a pale shirt. A quite standard course of action is join shoulder seams, hem neckline, in this case I added a trim, then hem armholes, then join the side seams. Finishing touches include hemming the bottom edge and adding fabric in the back if you cut it too small like I did.
Unfortunately, I've lost the footage of rerooting the hair, but I used a lot of pinks and blondes from RetroDolls UK to make a strawberry and cream look. The next step is the face up, but I need to cover the hair with a piece of cloth. I don't want to destroy his beautiful hair with MSC. When I was blushing his nose, I realized I can't cover the scratches with pastels because it looked dirty. At this point, I've stopped working on the paint job and focused on repairing his nose, chin, and some stains on the jaw with sandpaper. Now that he is clean and smooth, I can continue the face-up. Barb suggested a winking expression, so I'm drawing the sketch of one open and one closed eye. To make his lips look natural, I'm coloring it with watercolor pencil and then brushing it with water. Pink bushy eyebrows is all he needs. I'm adding a little bit of blue pastel in corners of the eyes and under his mouth, and then using white pencil I'm adding a lot of highlight. Time for the first layer of freckles. His eyes need more vibrant colors, and for that I'm using acrylic paints. You might have seen the final color of his eyes in the thumbnail, but at first I chose blue mixed with pink. I'm going to change that later to match the rest of the design. Let's go back to the freckles and add the second layer, but this time with white paint. Almost every our doll has a tiny dot in the center of the pupil, and this candy boy is going to have a golden one. With a little addition of Pearl X powder, his face will have a beautiful, healthy shine. Now it's time to finish his hair. I'm painting the sides with cream color paint. Then I'm preparing some yarn fluff to make an illusion of really short hair. I'm using leftover yarn from another custom doll we made in autumn. He's a character from a very popular manga, and we're going to show him to you soon. You can try guessing who he is in the comments. I'm cutting the brushed yarn in tiny little pieces and gluing it to the doll's head. After a few hours, I'm brushing the yarn to remove the excess. I'm giving a trim to the ends of his hair, trying to make an asymmetrical hairstyle.
To make his jacket a little more fun, I'm going to decorate the collar and cuffs with heat transfer vinyl in cream and gold. I cut out my stencils first, and I'm now going to cut them out of the vinyl. I like to tape everything to my cutting mat so nothing shifts. Then, I'm pressing for about 15 seconds, and it's ready to peel. If not everything sticks, I press again through a cloth. I align my second layer and press again. I wave the fabric in the air like a doofus to cool it down before I peel, because I'm very impatient. After that, I can cut the fabric to the right shape. This pattern, if I recall correctly, is actually a Dexter Charming jacket, and the sleeves in it are sewn differently than I usually do, so I'm referring to my folder on how to make them. After giving myself thumbs up of encouragement, I made a mistake anyway, so it's seam ripper time. After figuring that out, I can continue with sewing. Same rule applies to any shirt. Shoulder seams, neckline, armholes, which in this case means sleeves, and side seams, which in this case also means sewing up the sleeves. Sleeves are a lot of work, you guys. After finishing touches, this is our Candy Boy's outfit.
With a golden acrylic, I'm painting the edges of the collar and sleeves. I added a cream ribbon on his neck and hips to make some kind of a bow tie and a belt. I found these little pins at the shop and I couldn't resist buying them, and now they are perfect decorations for our boy. I'm attaching them to the bows with hot glue. I'm going to repaint these cloth shoes from Monster High series. To minimize brush marks, I'm painting the shoes with very watered acrylic paint and building the color with layers. When the shoes are painted, I'm covering them with 2 layers of matte varnish. After they dried, I thought they were a little bit plain, so I decided to add a pattern matching to the jacket. I laid 3 or 4 layers of paint to achieve the solid color.
Time to accessorize. I 3D printed this tiny lollipop, cause if you haven't guessed so far, this doll was inspired by a certain strawberry and cream lollipop. I'm now going to make a silicone mold to cast it in resin. I glued the pop to the base of my box, mixed silicone according to the instructions, and poured from up high. Now, I'm going to irritate the box to encourage any bubbles that might be in the silicone to rise to the top. It's a good stress reliever. After the silicone has set, I can remove the master, mix the resin, and cast the lollipop. To color the resin, I'm using Parallax powder. I propped the mold on a diagonal for the first layer. After that's set, I poured the other color. Last step is to demold and add a toothpick. A lot of work for a tiny lollipop.
The stick can't stay like this, and I'm painting it with pink, red and golden paint. Wire looks good on every accessory like wands and stuffs, so I wrapped it around and painted it gold. This is the final color of his eye. It was a last-minute change, but it matches the strawberries better than the previous color. I also braided his hair off camera.
This is how he turned out. It's always a bit of a challenge making boy dolls, but we always enjoy creating them. It's a nice break from heavy smoky eye makeups, long dresses, and ruffles. Swaps are always fun, so thanks again, Same Kawaii, for making a doll for us, and thanks to RetroDollsUS Shannon, who organizes the fun for us. We struggled to name this doll, and for some reason we landed at Aaron, and he is now in his happy home with Space Eclair dolls.
Do you like sweets and candy-themed dolls? Perhaps you have a favorite candy? Let us know in the comments down below.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram for some sneak peeks and subscribe for future videos. Have an enchanted day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!